Patric, great to meet you. If you could just start by introducing yourself, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, great. Name is Patric Stadtfeild. I'm with Siemens Corporate, and I'm the Chief Procurement Officer for the region Americas.
So, CPO for the Americas region, what does that entail on a daily basis? What does a typical day look like, if there is such a thing?
Yeah, I think there's no such thing as a typical days these days anymore. I mean, if you would ask me a year ago, I would tell you, yeah, it's pretty consistent. And since about January 20th of this year, my world has definitely been upside down, and every day is different. So I judge my day on the daily X tweets from our administration to figure out what my daily workload will look like.
So in practice, what have some of the big challenges you've been facing since January?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges for us right now certainly has been the tariffs discussion, right? As a huge manufacturer in the United States, it's certainly something that kept us quite busy understanding our impacts of tariffs and how that impacts our overall bottom line as a company.
So tell us about your session. Did some of those topics come up in your session? What were sort of the key themes to emerge?
Yeah, I think certainly some of the key themes in today's sessions were, disruptions, and tariffs certainly was highlighted a little bit, but we didn't go into details of it. But I think certainly the disruptions and how important it is for supply chain procurement organizations to be more resilient in order to maneuver through these disruptions more successfully. And it's been quite a challenging time for many organizations. And I think that the one thing we can say is expect the unexpected is kind of the motto we live by these days.
Absolutely, yeah. That similar phrases have certainly been coming up a lot. You mentioned those kind of risk and resilience, or rather those risk mitigation strategies that are becoming so crucial. Is there anything you can tell us about from internally at Siemens that you've maybe applied and found success with? Yeah,
I think one of the things we learned early on back in 2016 that we had a very global footprint from a sourcing point of view, and we started to begin to localizing our supply chain more and more over the last 10 years, and certainly that has been quite a success factor for us over the last few months since the new administration came back in, is that we have local for local content, and I think that has been very helpful for us as a company to position ourselves in the market and be able to provide products to our customers on time.
And of course, we're here at Procurement Supply Chain Live Chicago in co-location with Sustainability Live as well. What have you made of the event so far?
No, it's been a great event. I think one of the key topics that we hear a lot about is two topics. One is the importance of creating value of supply chain and procurement organizations, and then of course the impact of digitalization and AI in the future. And so, some of the key takeaways I think from the AI side is that with AI being more dominant in the future, I think we need to make sure that we don't underestimate the importance of the human involvement still. And there's still going to be a social dimension that needs to be taken care of. And I think a lot of times we think when AI comes in, AI will take over everything. I think AI will do a great job on taking a lot of tasks away. But our focus in procurement will shift to not procuring widgets anymore, but negotiating and solving complex business problems, right? And for that, you need procurement folks that have the emotional intelligence in order to successfully negotiate these things in the future. So those were kind of the takeaways.
And just finally, I mentioned obviously the two events being combined here in Chicago this week. Why would you say it's beneficial to bring together not only procurement and supply chain leaders, but the sustainability execs as well, bringing those different areas together?
No, I think they work hand in hand, right? If you think about sustainability at a company like ours, there is a huge impact that supply chain does have on the overall success of sustainability, particularly in the CO2 carbon footprint that we create in procurement. So bringing the two together and sharing the information and understanding sustainability even more will help both sides to work closer together, collaborate, and figuring out how to reduce that carbon footprint in the entire value chain of a company. So I think it's a great setup, and I think it's very beneficial for procurement folks like myself and others.
And just finally, actually, another just finally, you mentioned collaboration, which is something, again, I've sort of picked up on over the past couple of days. just sort of focusing in again on Siemens again, is that something that's going on as we speak, that increased collaboration between procurement, supply chain and sustainability?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we work very hand in hand on these topics. Certainly there is the impact of our CO2 footprint within the supply chain. Certainly has an overall impact on our overall goals. So we are working very closely together. But also in our case, we actually create an opportunity to now use sustainability and procurement to help create a top line impact, because we can actually talk to our suppliers that need help in decarbonizing their footprint and help sell some of our solutions to them. So it's we a very unique position to be in as a company like Siemens to really also have now the a double role at the end of the day, not just on the procurement side, but helping also generate top line impact. So I think it's a very close collaboration, and I'm very excited to see where this takes us.